Welcome, UCL fans. Season 2 regular play is now over, and it's time to move on to the playoffs. And we're here to take a look at the matchups that are going to be taking place. I know this is going up really late in the day, but I just haven't had a chance to sit down and actually work on this. I've had a very long, stressful week and just kind of tired, needed to take a little break, and now I can actually sit down and work on this. But we're going to take a look up at the playoffs. Of course, the four teams that have made it to the playoffs. We have the Durham Druddigons, the Bronx Bearticks, the Real Morrill, and the Carolina Keldios. So congratulations to those four teams. And this week we're going to ask the question: who are you predicting to make it into the finals? Finals, of course, will be taking place next Saturday. But before we get there, let's start taking a look at what's going to be happening this weekend. So let's start off our first matchup. That we're looking at is the Carolina Keldios, who during the regular season are cat. Excuse me. No, me. No, me. All right. During regular season, went 10-5, going up against the Durham Dragons, who were 13-2 during the regular season. Now, last time these two teams met, it was, I believe, week 11, and this was actually the hype match of the week for that week as well. So it's kind of interesting that one of the hype matches I predicted is actually being one of the first matches for the playoffs for it. Now, in that time, the Durham Dragons did defeat the Carolina Keldios in a 3-0 fashion, but Carolina has performed really well this season. Again, not a team I was exactly expecting to make it into the playoffs, but I'm very happy to actually say that they've actually made it this far. Last time around, the teams from the Carolina Keldios were Heatran, Scizor, Manectric, Gliscor, Suicune, and Granbull, and on the Durham Druddigons, Blastoise, the Crocodile, Shaman, Leafeon, Druddigon, and Victini. Now, we could see similar teams, or because the teams might be expecting the same thing, they might bring something completely different from it. Now, looking at what Carolina had brought before, they brought a lot of those same mons during the rest of the regular season, with Heatran, Scizor, Suicune showing up in a majority of the matchups for it. They weren't in necessarily every single matchup, but they were there for a majority of the team ups. Durham Druddigan side, Blastoise and Victini were probably the most used mons of all the ones on the Durham Druddigons. Next more common one was also going to be, I'd say, Registeel and even Terrakion. So maybe we'll see Terrakion make an appearance this time around. Obviously, they don't want to bring the exact same teams because you don't want to have the exact same setup for it. Carolina Keldios, I wish them the best of luck in their rematch. Fourth ranked team going against the number one ranked team this time around, because of course the Durham Druddigons had defeated the other two teams that have the same record that they do, with the Bronx Bearticks and the Real Morrill. But this is definitely going to be an interesting matchup. Like I said, rematch from week 11 this time around, and it'll definitely be an interesting one. I cannot wait to see how this one will actually go down. So, best of luck to both coaches. If Carolina does well, they could very well see the finals, but I think it's a good chance that Durham Druddigons could potentially win it. But again, we'll just have to wait and see how this one will go down for it. But that's going to be our the first matchup that we're looking at. In the second playoff matchup, which is of course a rematch from week 4, which was also during that time. This would have been the hype match of the week during week 4. We have the Bronx Bearticks and the Real Morrill. Now, both teams 13-2 going into the playoffs. Both of these teams, of course, getting their wins last week, so having momentum going into this matchup. Now, last time around, it was a 3-0 victory for the Real Morrill, and just with a lot of luck on the with Medicham, I think, landing like not one or back-to-back high jump kicks to actually win the actual matchup for it. Last time around, Bronx Bearticks, if I remember correctly, brought not one but two Scarfers that really threw off the Bronx Bearticks, but once he figured that out, was able to come back and make the most of it. Now, this, I would say, is probably one of the most anticipated rematches of the season, because, of course, these two teams are really strong, and I personally cannot wait to see of Not that I'm trying to discount the other matchup, because I really want to see how the Carolina Killdeers do against the number one team, but this matchup was definitely one of the biggest matchups that I was looking forward to during regular season, and I'm glad we get to see that again. I was a little sad because I would have liked to have seen Pittsburgh Pichus have made it in, because we never saw their matchup against the Real Madrid, but, it is what it is, but we're going to get to see this matchup once again. They've obviously learned a lot. Both teams, of course, really want to make it into that finals because, they both obviously have lost to, let's see, I think both of them had, yeah, like I said earlier, both of these teams did lose to the Durham Druddigons this season, and assuming that the Durham Druddigons make it past the Carolina Killdeers, I'm sure these two teams would want to get their, rematch against them. And then, of course, Bronx Bearticks trying to make it to their third UCL finals, because of course they were champions in season one. They actually won the Little Cup tournament as well. Winning in the finals of that. Real Marils were knocked out, I believe, in the semifinals or in the playoffs for the Little Cup. Of course, they did not compete in season one, so they really want to kind of make an impact here and go to their first championship on the UCL as well. Definitely going to be a very anticipated matchup. I mean, let me know down below, which matchup are you looking forward to more, Bronx Bearticks Real Maril or Carolina Killdeers Durham Druddigons? Like I said, they're both going to be great matchups. This one because they were two really highly rated teams going at it, and like I said, some of their losses were just like one was against the Durham Druddigons, the other ones were just kind of like misplays. I think Bronx Bearticks lost to I forgot who they lost to during the regular season for their second loss. I'm pretty sure, where was it? I'm pretty sure with the Real Maril, their second loss came from, where was it? I'm just going back through my notes. Yeah, the Real Maril's second loss came from the Philadelphia Alligators, and then trying to go back and see where the Bronx Bearticks. Yeah, Bronx Bearticks lost to Durham Dragons, and of course Real Maril. That's right. I should have known that one better. So Real Maril definitely wanting to make it into the championships. Bronx Bearticks have lost to the other two top teams into this matchup, and really want to try and get back on it. Want to prove. I mean, they've already proved that they belong here, but they want to make sure that they're here to stay. They are still a big threat, even though they might have lost two of these teams in the past four. But that's going to go ahead and wrap up our preview. It's probably a little bit longer than I anticipated, or maybe it's a little bit shorter. I don't know, since it's only two matchups. We'll be back on hopefully Tuesday, if I can get this done correctly on it, to actually do our review of the playoffs. And then, of course, next Friday, if I can get it done early enough, we will have our final preview for the season, as we will preview the championship match. So thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget, feel free to subscribe, where I try to do UCL videos during an actual season. I try to get them out Tuesday and Friday. This last couple weeks I've been having a little bit lagging, not been able to get on and do it all that much, but I did get at least my preview or my review video up on Wednesday, so I was a day late. And then after the season is over, I'm going to be doing similar to what I did before week one, where I was doing, reviews for each of the team drafts. I'm going to be doing team overviews for the season, and I'll be doing those going into I'll probably do this once a week for the next several weeks, and do that. And I normally upload on Tuesdays for it, so I don't know what I'll replace Fridays with, or maybe I'll do them one on Tuesday, one on Friday. Let me know down below which ones you would prefer to see for it. But thank you all very much again for watching. You have yourselves a good time, and like I said, let me know down below who you want to see in the championship match. So thank you all very much for watching. Take care and goodbye.